All right, everybody. After a very quick break, we are back here for the WVW National Electronic Sports
Radiant
Classic.
team
It's Vici
back.
Gaming versus Talent CN in the semifinals here, a best-of-3 series, and already
Dire team
we're in game
back.
number 2. VG with a dominant performance in game number 1, and we'll see if they can take it in 2 games or if Talent can bring it back and force a best-of-3, or I guess a third game in this best-of-3 series. Thank you so much for joining us here on twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. Our first cast on this channel. We're so excited to bring it for you. Obviously, my name is Maut. With me tonight is Pimp. How you doing, sir?
Oh, dude, I think I just got a pretty big problem. I just had a reconnect here, and I certainly... Oh man, I can't reconnect to the game. That's,
You can't reconnect?
I can't reconnect. That's a bit unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate.
I'm gonna be trying some console commands.
Were you in the lobby?
Team back.
Yeah. I just had a crash from my Dota.
Okay, well, we hope you get back into it. It'd be rather unfortunate to miss this one. And I don't know if they'll remake. I'm pretty sure these guys
I guess they don't.
They're pretty...
10 seconds
Well, first of all, I don't
remaining.
know if they speak English, obviously, as well, so... That's rough,
Dire
right?
team back.
See if you can get in. I don't know if you need me to do anything via console
Radiant
to help you
team
out.
pick.
I'm not sure.
No. I've got the IP here, but I can't... I don't know, service rejected me, so it looks like... Damn, it looks like you're on your own.
All right, man. Well,
Sorry, dude.
that's okay. I appreciate you for joining me for the first game, but...
I'm gonna be back in the third one, for sure.
Well, let's hope there is
There
a
is
third
one.
one.
Okay.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep, bye.
Well, unfortunate. Looks like I'll be going it alone, ladies and gentlemen, but that's all right. I appreciate Pimp for joining me here on that
Dire team
first game of the best-of-3 series. Obviously, Vici Gaming dominating that game with just such strong play coming out from the Ember Spirit, as well as, well, pretty much everybody for VG. They played extraordinarily well. Centaur Warrunner picked up first for Talent right now, and I think that's a better start than what they had in that last game. A bit greedy. They went for that Nature's Prophet, which Pimp talked about, and it just didn't work out in their favor. They had heroes that were still not getting level 6 at the end of the game, including that Sand King who just got there to get that
10
epicenter.
seconds
And
remaining.
the Nature's Prophet's good, and he can split push well, but in terms of early game, it doesn't provide you much. VG are going to be like, listen, we saw what you did with that Nature's Prophet last time around. We'll show you how to play it correctly this time. ROTK, not sure if Furion's one of his favorite heroes, but I'm sure he could absolutely play it in that offlane when it comes to it. And Ancient Apparition as well going to be coming out for VG, which means they have kind of this global presence with Ice Blast coming through. The big issue is the AA going to get levels here early on? And if so, is it going to do enough? With the AA, they also have Chilling Touch against, well, probably the Centaur Warrunner. They need
10
some way to lock him
seconds
down, though.
remaining.
One of the heroes to do so would be that Lifestealer, very strong up against that offlane
5
Centaur
seconds
Warrunner.
remaining.
They could also run an aggressive tri-lane depending on how things turn out here in the draft, but it's still a bit early to talk about that, so we'll just have to wait. Talent go for Sand King again. MRR
Radiant
had just
team
such a
back.
rough game last time around. I'm surprised they pick it up once more. The problem was he didn't head to the jungle at all and sandstorm it up and just try to get farm, which is what you see at least once or twice from a Sand King who's on his way to a Blink Dagger in a professional game. It just didn't work out for Talent in their favor. So Sand King, it's
Dire
available for
team
them, but
back.
is it going to provide a better impact than it did in that first game? And I'm not really sure at this point. Stampede will help out a lot just to get him in a better position and obviously get some nice burrow strikes in, but still, that's asking a lot for Talent CN right now to go for that Sand King once more. And I'm surprised they go
10
back to the same
seconds
well.
remaining.
But then again, they're not going to be up against an aggro tri-lane. At least,
5
we'll
seconds
see.
remaining.
Obviously, there's still a long way to go before we actually know what's going to happen with this one, but
Reserve time.
yeah, I appreciate all you guys joining us here. It's a bit early for, I guess, a lot of us here, and I talked about it last night for the ADL. We are going to get a lot more games going in on this channel as much as possible, so
Radiant team back.
twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. Make sure you guys follow it. Tell your friends about it. This is just the first of many games coming through here on this channel being casted with, well, of course, myself, What Is Hip, and Cuddle Guys, so
Dire team
pleasure to bring you
back.
this action. Talent, they ban out the Rubik. Oh, man, I love seeing FY on that Rubik, and it's unfortunate that it's not available this time around, but with the help of an Ancient Apparition, I'm not sure if Rubik's the way to go. There's other options for them as well. They could still go for that Mirana, which FY played
10
so well in that
seconds
last game. If they
remaining.
want to pick that up as their support, they certainly could, but they need something to
5
combine up to maybe
seconds
try to land that
remaining.
arrow, and, well, that's easier said than done when you have an Ancient Apparition. They'll ban out the Dazzle as well, just to make sure
Dire
Shadow Wave
team
and
pick.
Grave are not available, and that was one of the things keeping Talent kind of alive for the most part in that last game. So Beastmaster going to come out for Vici Gaming right now, and
Radiant
is
team
this going to be super playing the Beastmaster mid? We'll see. more likely than not, I'd imagine, as it should be that off-lane Nature's Prophet, I believe. So I think as it stands right now, Vici Gaming with a solid draft, but something that's really not picked all that often. And when it comes to it, yes, you can pick up your standard draft that I guess is, you know, you'd call the meta as of right now, but VG are always, they seem to be at the forefront of picking alongside DK. They know what heroes work, and I'd argue that VG a bit better than IG, and just maybe almost as strong as DK right now in terms of Chinese Dota. Some might disagree, but Vici Gaming have always impressed me with their play. They've been so very strong recently, and I mean, they beat IG and Newbie to get here to face up against Talent, and that was a bit earlier on BTS, obviously, but those are two very strong teams to have to go up against and face, and just to bring them down. Not unexpected. VG, one of those teams that really, they know how to get things done. The Visage now picked up for Talent. This is very greedy. You go for two heroes that require level 6. Luckily, Visage doesn't need that much farm to get things done, and he can play that hard support role rather well. He can also pump at the damage. You get a Burrow Strike in and a Soul Assumption, and all of a sudden, whatever hero you're trying to fight is dead. But going up against Chilling Touch, that's a lot to deal with as well, if it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane for Vici Gaming. If it's a defensive tri-lane, the Beastmaster, excuse me, the Nature's Prophet is going to be their focus, and it's going to be tough to bring him down, especially if he gets phase boots early on. And if ROTK is playing that hero well, we know how well he can play that. So, 1 minute and 10 seconds left on reserve time right now for 3G. For Talent, their next couple of heroes, they'll be coming out in just a moment. But for VG, this is most likely going to be a support. They've got their mid, they're off. They can pick up their safe lane farmer, or I guess tri-lane farmer, if that's what you want to call it right now. That's what they'll go for. They'll go for the Luna. And this time around, it probably won't be an aggro try. This time they're probably just going to farm, but in a game that they dominated so thoroughly in that last one, where they went for that aggressive tri-lane, it's kind of surprising that they switch up these and they go for something like the Luda instead. Which is not unheard of in an aggressive tri-lane, but it's something that might not be the best. It's not like a Weaver where you could just run at people with Shikuchi.
10 seconds remaining.
Still, there are options. It really comes down to what they want to do. They certainly could aggressive tri-lane, but and that actually might be a bit better. It maybe makes things a little bit easier for that Nature's Prophet up against the Centaur Warrunner, who can't really get close to essentially harass him down. I think that's an okay matchup for Nature's Prophet with the Treants kind of harassing down Centaur, but he's very tanky, so no one will go down unless someone misplays it, I think. But that is assuming VG go for aggro tri-lane, and that's still a bold assumption at this point. 1 minute left for Talent CN to pick up a hero right now, and let's see what they're going to go for. Mid lane or safe lane farmer. Yeah, they'll pick up the Weaver right now. They realize how strong Siler played that hero in that previous game, and the thing is they're picking this into a Beastmaster. I usually like Weaver pickups, but I feel like they're picking it just to kind of say, listen, it worked so well for them last game. We'll try to get it going for this game. They don't have the Ancient Apparition to combo up with it. They don't really have any other, kind of abilities that really work well with Weaver, Shikuchi, or Time-Lapse. He does a lot of damage, yes, and he's very good in an aggressive tri-lane if they want to lane it that way, which they certainly could. Up against Chilling Touch, though, and potentially another strong support for Vici Gaming, this might be difficult, and it seems like VG know that it's coming, and it seems like Talent are going to run this in an aggro tri-lane. At least that's the feeling that I'm getting right now. Still, we'll have to see who matches up mid. Vici, they still need that last support, but Talent, they need their mid laner. Storm Spirit's banned out, and I love the ban. They don't want to have to deal with that, as Beastmaster's been picked up with the Wild Axes. There's not much that you could go for that'll really work up against this, 100% of the time. You can go for one of those farming kind of carries in the mid lane, or you can go for somebody that has initiation potential with the Puck. Puck can easily just phase shift those axes and be just fine, and it can also control team fighting. But that's a lot of, maybe, I guess, greed coming out for Talent's side. That's a lot of heroes that require a decent amount of farm, including Blink Daggers, to come through. We'll see, though. They still have another ban going their way, and at this point, they've got to ban out a support. It's going to be Line. They want to make sure Hex is not available. They want to make sure Earth Spike and Finger Blast, or Finger of Death, excuse me, is not available. So I think that's an okay ban, but there's certainly better supports in the pool. I mean, there's plenty of supports that you can take out that I'd say are a bit better than Line at this point in time. But we've seen Chinese teams play line before and absolutely dominate with him. So it really comes down to what Vici Gaming want to do here with this last support. And who's going to play it? Fenrir or FY is the real question.
10 seconds.
They have
remaining.
55 seconds left of reserve time, so they have a lot of options and a lot of time to really think about it. So no
5
surprise
seconds
there.
remaining.
And talent, well, it'll be their mid lane to, of course, round things out. And
Reserve time.
I still think Puck might be the best option in this scenario, but I'm not sure if they have a Puck player that's on their team. I don't expect to see a semi-carry. I guess it could work, but maybe someone who doesn't require too much farm, potentially. And we'll also see what kind of build the Luna wants to go for. We've seen the EE and what he builds on the Lunas, and it's absolutely outstanding with the Mask of Madness, which he seems to almost build on every Agi carry that he goes. And Chinese teams probably like to do it a bit more, I guess,
Radiant
standard.
team pick.
Vici Gaming pick up the Nyx Assassin, which is so good in that offlane, but as a support can also still land those impales and do a lot of damage. The thing is, with an Ancient Apparition and with Chilling Touch, you'd like to have somebody that does a bit more right click, or at least is ranged. Like a Rubik, for example, would be nice to have with FY, but they're going to focus more on the Cold Feet combo than anything else. The right click coming out with Lunar
10
Blessing as well as
seconds
Chilling Touch is going to do enough damage already between the two of those heroes. You can even theoretically
5
2-1-2 if you're
seconds
VG and
remaining.
still get away with it, but the question is now, do talent go for this aggressive tri-lane? And it's
Reserve
still,
time.
we have to wait until we get into the game to see. It's going to be a mid laner right now. It has to be. With 20 seconds left of reserve time. They go for Axe, interestingly enough. This is a bold strategy. And Pim talked about it in the last game with CIS kind of coming out of nowhere and playing these interesting heroes. This is one of those heroes that's interesting. And you can just dunk on people. The problem is, if he's mid lane, he'll be taking axes. He'll be throwing at the Battle Hunger, but that's not going to be an issue for Super, who is going to be playing that Beastmaster mid. And yeah, the Invoker player from last game is going to be up on this axe, so it is going to be this mid axe right now. And that is actually really interesting. Something we don't see too often, but certainly could be very dominant here. So for talent, the Invoker from the last game going to be on the axe this game. We'll have D up on the Weaver. He played that Spectre last time around. Didn't really go well in that last game. Seal will be on that Visage. Going to head down to that bottom tri-lane. And MRRR again on that Sand King. And this is a bold strategy. In fact, he goes for boots first on the Sand King. They want to make sure they've got potential to bring down this ROTK Nature's Prophet, who, well, it's going to be tough as he's got to boost first, obviously. And to, of course, run it all out for talent, we've got, well, Centaur Warrunner. Can't really pronounce that, but it was the offlane Nature's Prophet last game. The offlane Centaur Warrunner this game with 8 tangos. Stout Shield, Healing Salve. He'll throw up a ward as well. We'll see where he wants to put it, but he's got to be careful. This is a very dangerous tri-lane to go up against. If you hit an Impale, if you hit the Cold Feet, you're in some trouble. Lucent Beam to start things off as well, but he went for Lunar Blessing level 1. No surprise there. You're going to go with that every single time
30
on the Luna.
seconds to
So for
battle.
Vici Gaming, Sylar going to run right into the Centaur Warrunner. He'll be playing the Luna up in this top lane. Fenrir's going to be on the next Assassin. FY going to be on this Ancient Apparition. That'll round out the top tri-lane. Super's going to be mid on this Beastmaster. Then off lane at Nature's Prophet. Going to be played by ROTK. So they have a lot of pushing potential. And the thing is, if you get bots on one or two of these heroes, you can TP to the Beastmaster and his Hawk or his Boar or what have you. They could push with the Boar, they could push with the Treants. I'm sure one or both of these heroes are going to get Necros at some point. Meanwhile, FY and Fenrir, they're just going to make room. They can start roaming early on. We'll see. FY did pick up Invis. He also has Sentry Wards, if he wants to use them to try to maybe counter any sort of ward that the Centaur puts down, which he hasn't put down yet. No smoke, and I'm surprised they didn't pick one up early on here, but they didn't put a ward down here on this rune spot. So mid lane, we might see Cold Feet go, but look at how aggressive Axe is being in this mid lane. Super is getting harassed already by this counter helix. So here we go. The Chilling Touch is going to fly. Super getting low, though. The counter helix, that's first blood. Will he get 2? There's the Berserker's Call. Talent already starting off with a double kill on this Axe. That is about as bad as it gets. Super typing dot in chat. Almost an ellipsis. And I feel you, man. I understand. RNGesus. Praise be to Ice Frog as Axe comes through with an excellent first blood and a double kill. That's about as bad of a start as you can get. Axe is feeling real good, and already his bottle running out to him right now, or potentially Tranquils. Looks like he'll just actually purchase up Boots of Speed and Salve. Could have went for that bottle, but instead decided to go for maybe Tranquils a bit later and Boots first, obviously. ROTK. Setting down bottom, he's actually getting, of course, some Decent CS here. He can pull the creep wave with his tree ants if he wants to. There's really no way they can harass them out. He still only has 2 at this point. He still has boots of speed as well. They're not really dealing with him now. ROTK counter warding early on. Oh, that ward gone. Completely and utterly gone. FY making sure that, well, it's not an issue. And it looks like he probably saw the Centaur go over and throw that down. So otherwise, you generally don't counter ward this spot. I mean, he had 2 sentries on him, and the first one actually went up here onto this eye. It's actually kind of surprising. Unless they knew talent, we're going to do that from the very beginning, which would be very interesting. So yes, you did get a double kill for this axe early on, but top, Sylar's farming away again, and this is going to be an issue. There seems to be some ping issues coming out right now for both sides, and it looks like hopefully we'll get back into it, but as it stands right now, I think that double kill really helps out talent, but still, they need to secure some farm down bottom. They've got to get MRR into the jungle and have him sandstorm, but he went for a level 1 burrow strike. No surprise there. He's got to get some experience by going into lane or pulling or something, but look at this observer ward, and in fact, the sentries have already been placed down. They're really just not in the right position here. I understand the sentry here, but you really should have saved it to try to counter ward, and this ward is so nice to have coming out for Vici Gaming, making sure this pole camp not available. That means that any real golden experience that MRR thought he was going to get, it's not going to happen for another 5 or 6 minutes or so. Well, about 5 at this point. So ROTK making sure that if the Sand King wants to get levels, he's going to have to come in lane and leech the experience of CL as well as the Weaver. And Weaver's at least having a better time this time around with 6 last hits. Meanwhile, Luna picks up a kill that top lane. Centaur Warrunner getting caught out. Lucent Beam. The Impale looks like a hit up, and obviously FY with the Chilling Touch. That's enough damage to get the kill there. And so now Sylar, he's got a kill on the board. He's got some decent CS as well. Visage getting a kill bottom. God, I'm missing kills left and right. ROTK getting caught out. Looks like Soul Assumption was used to grab the kill, and D, obviously with Shikuchi, could have been a part of that. MRR was certainly not there. He picks up the Illusion Rune right now. He's still got only Burrow Strike, only level 1 at this point. And Super's going to roam back mid. Axe, a full level advantage over Super. No surprise there. He's just running at him. He's not even afraid. He's got 2 points of Berserker's Call. I love Berserker's Call getting leveled up. Battle Hunger's nice, but it's very mana ineffective. Or inefficient, I should say, rather. Super with axes still can harass him out, but there's the Berserker's Call going through. Still on level 6, but he's level 5, however. Right-click damage, no Helix procs, unfortunately. So Super will be fine. That's on cooldown for only about 5 seconds. The mana cost not that much, only about 90, so... Centaur Warrunner, where is he rotated to? He's coming down bottom. They might do an aggressive tri-lane at this point. They might just send D and MMR top, but there's no reason for Centaur to be down here. He can't jungle. Mid lane, look at this dive coming through from the Axe right now. Super sitting on the tower, but there's no creep wave. Look at him, Super just making sure he doesn't get called. He doesn't want to take those Helix procs, but meanwhile, Axe doesn't want to be too aggressive under this tower and die for it. He's had too strong of a start to kind of let that go, but he's almost at his Culling Blade, and he's got Trinkles already. So Super, ooh, you saw that Battle Hunger or Berserker's Call animation go. Super's got to be very careful. He's trying to get 6 in his own right, but still, he's got to be careful here up against this Axe. It's a lot of... It's like touching barbed wire, essentially, when you're going up against the Axe. Down bottom, they're going to leave Weaver to his own devices and just try to get him levels right now, whereas CL and MRR, they're just going to try to get MRR at least a stack or 2 here. I don't know what the Centaur is doing right now, but he's not going back top. He realizes that that's a little bit too dangerous, but you could just try to sit and leech experience. The unfortunate thing is he doesn't really know what's coming. There's no ward up on that high ground coming out anymore. Axe is going to back off. They know that the supports are missing for the side of VG, but Talent, they've got to be careful. This Axe, luckily the wave is pushed in, but they're going to wrap around instead. They're going to look for the Centaur Warrunner at this lane, but he's not there. He's already backed his way out of there and made sure that... Oh, but he TPs just as I say this. They're going to try to dive here. 200 pinks his Axe. They're looking for the Impale. They're looking for the Lucent Beam. Sylar trying to get vision. Oh, but nice juke coming through. The Centaur Warrunner, he goes up instead of down. Now another TP rotation. Now VG, they stay a bit too long. Fenrir can throw up the Impale if necessary, but CL is here. And Soul Assumption is not anything to be trifled with. There's the Lucent Beam going, just trying to push the Centaur back. He barely has boots up, but they're still in the inventory, obviously the stash. Sylar diving past, no level 6 just yet. He's got Chilling Touch. There's the Grave Chill. Sylar a bit too aggressive. The Impale's going to fly. It does miss on the Centaur, but just barely. Fenrir still zoning everybody out. They could try to push down this tower, but it's a bit too early for that, I'd imagine. There's no glaives just yet for this Luna. Not that it matters. He'd rather have Eclipse, but here we go. Now the aggressive tri-lane coming out. Yes, the Centaur is not going to get levels, but he's going to secure farm and maybe even some kills. I like this movement coming out from Talent. And with D farming away, they have a shot at bringing this to game 3. Super now is level 6. He's bottling up. He's got Roar ready to go if he wants to head top and try to fight. He's also got something flying out to him. It looks like he's just got a Bottle Crow, realizing that the 6-minute rune, it's not quite there yet. He'll wrap around. He'll look for MRR or for CL or for somebody for that matter. He's got to be patient about this, though. There's no creep wave under his tower. He's just going to run straight into the lane, though. The Courier, I think, might spot things out. The TP coming through. ROTK, they definitely want to dive this. They're going to throw the trance up in the tower now. Centaur might come through and stomp. There's the Roar on CL. Will they get this kill quickly enough? There's the Lucid Beam. The Impale as well. He's down. Sprout is now up. That'll be on the Centaur. Stomp misses on everybody. Can they get this kill? No. They have no way to lock him down. Lucid Beam just came off cooldown, but no mana for the Impale. MRR coming through. That's a bold play. Everyone rotating up, including the Axe right now with his Tranquils. Now Fortification's going to fly. VG 5-manning very early right now. They want this tower, but they cannot get it without Trance. They'll have to have Super go back mid. 6-minute rune is going to be top. It's going to be that haste rune. Not a whole lot of vision on the map for either team, but as it stands right now, Axe is here. He's got Culling Blade. Impale's going to fly. The Cold Feet, the Eclipse as well. They want to fight. One down, almost 2. Axe buys back. TP's in. He wants to be a part of this engagement, but VG are already backing off. No Stampede ready to go. Axe with that buyback a little too quick on the trigger, I'd imagine. And now ROTK will go back to his own devices in bottom lane and get some CS. Nice pick off there. The Cold Feet, the Chilling Touch, the Impale into the Eclipse for Sylar, grabs them the kill, and he'll continue to CS. If this game goes late enough, you'd have to imagine Luna is going to definitely take control of the game. Weaver is very strong, and he can dish out the damage, but he's going to need a bit more. He has decent farm already with 36 last hits, but Silo's got 37 and a couple of kills and assists to go his way. Super sitting right now close to his phase boots. Surprised that he's not going for treads, but you don't need to as a Beastmaster. You might just want to have that move speed to catch up to people and roar people when possible. But speaking of that, he's also got a haste rune bottled up if necessary. So Sylar, as it stands right now, treads are done. No surprise there. We'll see if he goes for something like a Helm of the Dominator. Very early into a Yasha for that, I guess you would call a greedy build, which is pretty standard nowadays, at least in the Western scene. Midas now done at 7:30 for this Weaver, and decently timed, but he doesn't even have boots, and so maybe not so much, actually. The fact that that's only 7 minutes and 30 seconds in with just a Midas coming through is a bit late, I'd say. You'd like to have a 5-minute and 30-second Midas here on this Weaver with free farm, essentially, but that's not the case. Wraparound from Super. He's waiting to go on the backside. They actually had vision of him roam through there with this ward. So CL's going to back off if there's a haste rune. And Super's deciding whether or not he wants to use that Primal Roar. Instead, he'll just focus on the tower first and foremost. And with Sylar here, they have plenty of damage with the Lunar Blessing to take this down. Chilling Touch can even go if necessary. But they will get the tower nonetheless. And this gives a lot of farm to Vici Gaming. But wrapping around, Invis rune out for the Axe. MRR walking in plain sight. However, ROTK might get dove here. Meanwhile, Shikuchi pushing him back. There's going to be the Nature's Wrath coming through. ROTK trying to TP away. Berserker's Call is going to fly. Counter Helix dunk. Nicely played. Axe jams it in. Boom goes the Dynamite. But while that's all happening, look at top tower. The tier 2 falling very low. We saw this in the last game. Vici Gaming, once they get a lane, they try to pressure and push the towers as quickly as possible and take both of the outer towers essentially one by one. And now Sylar, 2,400 gold in the bank. That's a lot of gold for him. That's not what you want to see if you're this Weaver player who's like, well, I got a Midas, but that's it. TP coming through. This time it's going to be the next Assassin. And Fenrir's not 6 yet, but he's getting close. 1 or 2 creep waves will come through. Mana burn going in. D's got no mana right now. Shikuchi and Timelapse not available. He'll pick up this Ring of Health, but it's going to be a while for this Lincoln Sphere. RTK is just jungling right now, and Axe, well, he sees him. He's maybe thinking about jumping on him, but with the help of the next Assassin, it might be scary for him to be there. Now FY jumping mid, no Chilling Touch coming through, but the Boar pulling the creep wave back a bit. Super can axe this down if he wants to. Probably will at some point, but Sandstorm jungling, you finally hear it for MRR. He's getting a little bit closer to that Blink Dagger, and at least he's having a bit of a better time than last game. They're still in this by far, but still, it's a rough game. Stampede going through. Axe trying to jump on FY and Will. There's the call coming through. The Roar is up at the Helix. Doing damage. Stomp is up the double edge. Will he jam it in? Absolutely. Axe with another dunk. And he picks up his Blink Dagger as well. Gold lead. It's 2,000 in favor of Vici Gaming, but we know why that is. The towers are a huge part of that gold lead coming through for VG. Experience-wise, Talent are leading the way. But Sylar is really going to be the factor that they've got to deal with this game. This Luna is going to start getting out of control. And yeah, it is that early Helm of the Dominator. Now Yasha might be the next choice if you are Sylar here. And you don't even really need to go for a BKB. Maybe you don't want to deal with Berserker's Call, but I don't know if that goes to the BKB or not, actually. It's not really magic. It might be. I'm not sure. Blink. Oh, Fenrir about to impale, but getting called down. Axe throwing another one. Every single time, every real fight that's involved Talent, Axe has gotten the kill or at least gotten close to it. So he did have to die and buy back, but that's not really that bad. Grave Chill up on Super right now, catching him out of position, but no one's there to follow up. Sylar with 1,200 gold in the bank, 62 last hits. He's going to Lucent Beam on the Centaur right now. He's getting pushed back, and there's no tower for him to really just sit kind of safely under. Eclipse is up and ready to go. It's level 1. He wants level 2, obviously, but it's a ways away. Next item is going to be coming out for Sylar in not too long of time. It's obviously 2,100 for that Yasha if you want it. And down bottom, well, D just trying to get some CS here, and he's doing a nice job of it at 65. But the Midas is good, yes, and he's getting towards that Lincoln Sphere, but when you think about it, I don't know if Luna really cares about that much. Sylar's just going to continue to get CS and move forward here in this game. And Super's actually going for an Aghanim Scepter, which is not super surprising. Considering how good that item is. That roar distance is absolutely fantastic. ROTK is going to TP in, throw up the Nature's Call, and well, they'll go for this tier 1 tower and try to take it down. But they 5-man so early. VG, it's just like, listen, if you guys want to run at us, you can, but we're just going to try to take towers. Otherwise, you know, you can let this go if you want, but now there's so many Blink Daggers up for Talent. VG have to be wary. They're all sitting together. That would have been a huge Burrow Epi, but they just weren't ready to go. Centaur, he's got to lead things off with his Stampede, but he's getting close to a Blink as well. Up on the high ground, Super, scouting things out. He'll send the Scout Hawk away. Just try to get vision on this high ground, and they know everything that's happening. Lucent Beam on CL. The Roar's about to fly. It's going to hit up on CL. The Stampede's going to go through. Still alive. No, Nature's Prophet with the Nature's Wrath gets up. Now Blinking, Berserker's Call being used. Looks like not enough. Lucent Beam is up. Now the Sprout on the Sand King. They're still chasing. Axe about to fall. Fenrir. Vendetta's going to get the kill. 2 down. Nice roar coming through from Super. The Nature's Wrath as well. Centaur getting caught out. No Stampede ready. The Axe is the Impale. He's going to fall. 3 dead. Sylar on a killing spree right now. Not getting any kills in that fight except for the Centaur. But being a part of it. Getting the tower. He is going to go for the BKB. And you have to expect that because they're playing this 5-man Dota. He wants to go for this BKB as early as possible. They're just going to rotate down bottom, and they're going to take the next tier 1 tower. And Talent, they're not split pushing. They're not really dealing with the other lanes. They're getting farmed for the Weaver, yes, but they're not really taking any towers. They're not trading effectively. Anytime there's an engagement, Talent are losing. VG are just forcing their will onto Talent Gaming right now. And even though I want to see a game through, and I want Pimp to get back in here and watch it with me, it looks as if right now VG are once again methodically pushing down towers and are making sure that they've got a control of this game. And it'd take a very big initiation from Talent for them to get back into this. D, he'll get Ice Blasted and get pushed back, but that's not that much damage to deal with. Timelapse actually doesn't get rid of that buff, or I guess debuff if you will. It's a lot of damage to deal with. 5,000 gold lead now going for VG. Experience-wise, it's even. It was going the way of Talent for a while, but it's even now. Down bottom, Sprout is up on the Axe. He's in some trouble. The Eclipse as well. Easy kill for Sylar. D coming through. No time lapse. He got mana burn. He Shikuchi'd away. They've got no detection right now. Just barely missing out. No real true sight. And he will TP away. D's going to make it out in time. FY trying to spot him out. Just, I guess, missed the end of that TP. But Cold Feet would have to take a couple of seconds to latch up anyways. So D coming through trying to get what he can. He actually picked up Fenrir there, which is a nice play. But finally, now Centaur trying to split push, trying to get something done. Fortification still not available. The mech is up, the double damage rune as well. VG want this tower, and they want it badly. The Visage Familiars just from the glaives alone. Oh, Lord. That's too much to deal with. And the tier 2 going to fall. The last one on the map, that's mid. Just like that. In the past, 5 minutes, VG have increased their gold lead to about 7,500, which is exactly what we saw in that first game. And now an 8,000 net worth for this Luna, who picks up the Ogre Club and then the Yasha. And, well, maybe not that BKB just yet, but soon enough. Maybe goes for the SNY, which would be a very interesting item choice for a Luna. You don't usually see that. Manta is actually a much better choice for a number of reasons. I don't expect it to be an SNY, but there certainly is that option. They're going to head top. They actually smoked up the blink, the call as well. Sylar, no eclipse up. Now the stomp, the double edge. They can jam it in just a couple of hits here. Sylar's going to try to run. They cannot chase him, though. The TP for ROTK to maybe sprout the battle hunger. They push him back. The sprout is up now, but he's the only one there. They cannot get the kill. That is so demoralizing. Sylar's not going to fall to this battle hunger. He'll survive. He'll head back home and regen up. He might even just regen by just using his Helm of the Dominator and farming some of these creep camps. Oh, man. ROTK pushing them away. He doesn't even do much. He only has a Midas and regular boots right now. He's getting a Necro book, and it's Necro 1, yes, but that's nothing. Meanwhile, Fenrir, Vendetta is going to go. There's going to be an Ice Blast. Boom, goes the Dynamite. Ancient Apparition getting the kill with that Ice Blast. Nicely done there. Blink Dagger's now up for the next Assassin, so VG, they're getting these items. I mean, they're very farmed. Especially Sylar, who's sitting pretty at this point. Necro's done like we talked about. Point booster for Super. Is there anything on the Courier? A full Aghanim's already for Super coming out. Primal Roar. I believe the cooldown is, 45 seconds with that Scepter, and the range is absolutely ridiculous. The cast range for this now, you look at it this time around, and you look at what it changes. It's huge. You can hit it from high ground if you need to. So Talent, as much work as this axe did in the early stages of this game, they haven't really used the Sand King to his full potential. They haven't really team fought to their full potential. And at this point, it's going to be almost impossible to do so. They'll be fighting into a mech. They'll be fighting into Eclipse. They'll be fighting into Glaives, BKB even, Aghanim's Roar, Fenrir, and what he's got going for him. And even to a certain extent, ROTK and his Necro 1. Soon to be a Necro 2. So 16 minutes in, and oh, no. Weaver. No, come on, man. You know that doesn't work. I just mentioned it. His ultimate orb about to be there, and it's going to be about an 18-minute Lincoln Sphere. And with the Midas, that's a bit slow. I guess with the Midas, it's actually not that bad, considering he had to buy the Midas first. But you'd like the Midas to kind of alleviate any of your farming issues. And he hasn't died yet, but still. Look at this ancient stack going the way of Sylar and Super with, of course, the axes and the glaives. It's just too much to deal with now. This is going to be so much farm going their way. Farm that they really didn't need.
Dire's top
And they
tower
have
is under attack.
4 of the top, I'd say 5, are going to Vici Gaming in terms of net worth. The only one kind of falling behind is FY, but he's got a mech, so he doesn't really need much anyways. The Centaur has absolutely nothing right now.
Warriors of the wood.
He's got a Blink Dagger, and that's it. He's sitting behind the Sand King in terms of net worth. CL's even more far behind. He is so poor that he only has boots and a clarity. Ugh. You hate to see it for Talon right now, but maybe they could try to take this tier 1 tower. They'll TP mid in just a couple of seconds here. The fortification's going to go, and, well, Stampede, are they going to try to fight this? This is a bold strategy. They won't engage. Stampede now on cooldown. Oh, meanwhile, Blink up from Fenrir. There's the Impale. Ice Blast as well. The Roars use the axes, grabbing the kill. TP from ROTK, and now with the axe down, they've got 38 seconds with which to work here and try to get this tower. Sprout is now up in the Centaur. He'll blink away just in time as the Glaives were about to bounce and put that Blink Dagger on cooldown. Meanwhile, Burrow Strike, MRR so low. The Cold Feet, he'll blink away. He'll stay alive, and he'll Sandstorm as well just to get everything off. And now, finally, D trying to do what he can with the split push, but it will cost them a tier 2 tower. And now VG's next maneuver needs to be this high ground. With Necro 2, it's got to be used up. With Glaives going as well. BKB's not quite there for Sylar. They haven't even taken Roshan with that dire advantage, and they don't seem to care about it either. They just want to finish this game as quickly as possible, and I understand. The winner of this series will go on to face Hearts Get Together in the grand final. And honestly, VG, they probably like their chances. Blink coming through from Talent, from the axe, just trying to find something and really not able to do so. Roar's going to fly long range on the Centaur. Meanwhile, Burrow Strike in, Epicenter not being used. He still has it available. Mana Bird coming, and the Lucid Beam to clean up that Centaur War Runner. And now they'll try to push in again. And now the Vision coming in from the Scout Hawk just to try to get some high ground detection and Vision going their way. Tier 3 tower about to go. Blink call in. Axe wants to try to fight. Impale misses. Sylar getting low. There's the BKB just getting online. Eclipse is going to fly. MRR getting blown up. D. The True Sight not enough. They'll have to mech up. Back off a bit, at least for Sylar, but the tier 3 about to go down. Vici Gaming just sieging consistently, non-stop pressure, barrage of Glaives coming through. There's nothing that Talent can do. This Weaver is not nearly farmed enough to deal with this right now. He doesn't have boots right now. and they're going to lose a set of racks at 20 minutes in. Blink Call going the way. A couple of Helixes flying through. Now the Stampede, the Stomp as well. The Double Edge. Ice Blast, though. The Roar coming through. They grab the kill up on Centaur. Now D has got to time-lapse. The range racks getting focused. Sylar getting low, but they jam it in. Finally, they get a kill going their way. The range rack's about to fall, but will it survive? It looks like it will. Burrow up, hitting onto one. FY getting caught out. ROTK taking Sandstorm damage. Nice sprout to alleviate any pressure. Axe cannot continue to chase. At least he's got as good as Blink going, but ROTK, oh, the call just in time. ROTK almost getting there. Burrows up on Fenrir right now. ROTK getting low. Another Calling Blade going through. Fenrir, he's got a Vendetta, but they've got the Sentra. He's got no mana to call. Now the Sandstorm grabbing the kill. 3 down for VG. They defend, but they lose their melee racks. They're still very far behind, but at least they get something going their way. And Axe trying to become the Superman.
Regeneration.
They're still down 12,000 in gold. Experience-wise, it's 4,000. And it's just such a rough game right now for excuse me, they have a great game for Talent. That you look at their items and you say, well, at least they have that. At least they have a Lincoln Sphere. At least they have a Blade Mail. At least they have a Buckler. But VG, Veil of Discord on FY right now. No, he doesn't need the Aghanims. He'd rather just have a Veil, which helps out pretty much everybody else by a wide margin. That Eclipse is going to do work. That Beastmaster Roar going to do work. The Nature's Wrath, and specifically the Ice Blast, which is what he bought it for, I'd imagine. So now, finally, and we talked about it a bit, VG, they'll tighten up their gameplay a little bit, and they'll have Sylar grab an Aegis. His BKB is done, his Manta not too far off with his Ultimate Orb coming out. The Visage Familiar just getting glaived down, that poor Visage Familiar. Fenrir, he's Vendetta, he's looking for a pick-off, but if he blinks, it's going to put that Vendetta on cooldown, and he really wants to find Vendetta first and foremost. Besides that Impale, he needs, obviously, Vendetta to get a kill solo. D is going to try to take this tier 2 tower top. VG, they don't seem to mind. They'll TP top with ROTK now, but everyone's kind of roaming up here. MRR on the backside ready to go. Still has not used an epi this entire game. Look at the damage D's pumping out on this tower. He wants the tier 2. 3,000 gold in the bank. And looks like they'll just give this up. ROTK is the only one here, and D will take the tower.
Has fallen.
And this is something that I don't like about VG. They're trading when they don't need to. If they just go back home and defend that, they can push it out and deal with it. But they want to try to pressure bottom instead. Tracks will fall as well, and that just is a bit of misplay from Talent. They could have defended that, but the creep wave came through, and they were all top when they didn't need to be there. They expected a fight breaking out, but now D's going to try to split push. The problem is, well, this tier 3 tower is going to fall faster than D can push that tier 3 top. So he's got to come back and TP. They're going to try to go for a trade, but this is not favorable. They need to try to fight. They've got to get something going, but BKB now, there is a Deso at least, thankfully, up. Fortification, they really need it, but they don't have it right now. Roar is up on the backside coming through from the high ground. MRR getting caught out, blown up. Now, there's going to be the Eclipse coming through. Centaur, every single Lucent Beam hitting up on him. D now getting brought down, already using his time-lapse, trying Shikuchi away. The Necro giving vision, as well as Super with his gem. Now, Impale just zoning them out. That's going to be another set of racks down. This is going to be GG. 2 sets of racks done. They'll go for the tier 4s. The Manta Style for Sylar is done. And that is going to be it looks like, as they'll work their way towards the tier 4 towers. Now, Axe comes through, trying to get what he can done, but there's the Impale. And they bring him down. Soul Assumption, nice mech coming out from FY to save his life. Fenrir surviving. Nyx Assassin making sure he stays alive. The Glaives doing work. Sylar still has the Aegis. Even if he dies here, it's not going to matter. Super's working on this last tier 4 tower. ROTK getting brought down. Burrow strike into the stomp and double edge. That's enough to get the kill on ROTK, but he'll buy back. He'll TP in. The Well, the Ancient getting brought down slowly but surely. Talent, it's been a good try for them, but VG just too strong with their 5-man play. Fortification going. Nice Burrow epicenter. They're not done yet. They bring down 1. Will it be 2? ROTK getting low. Nice by Carapace. They will bring him down with the Calling Blade. Look at the Helix's double. Almost a triple. The Lucent Beam, the Burrow strike. Now he's got to back away. Sylar does too much damage. MRR getting caught out. Gem is on the deck. Nothing to put down. Drop your Aquila, excuse me. Sylar getting brought down as well. They'll defend, finally. He uses the BKB. The game is almost over nonetheless. Buyback coming in from Sylar. He could bots in at any moment and try to finish this off, but no BKB. This is a very bold strategy. Now, the creep wave falls to a counter Helix, and he cannot bots in. Talent say, listen, if you want this base, you're going to have to come and get it. And Sylar says, listen, I'm trying my best, but that was bold. Sylar almost, maybe committing suicide even. Wow.
The cavalry has arrived.
I guess it's not over, man. I mean, something fat lady singing, I think is the correct terminology, I believe. But VG are in a position where they just need like to run at the ancient and they win the game at this point. They're allowed to dive. They're allowed to have some fun, but Sans picked up for the Nature's Prophet. Is that a halberd coming through? And that Weaver. Roar is now up. Who's that on? CL, Mexico. Axe is going to come through. Look at that damage eclipse. Oh, man. The Blade Mail. It doesn't care. MRR throwing up the Burrow Strike now. Getting pushed back. The creep's getting absolutely crushed. ROTK stomped a double edge, but here we go. 2 already dead. ROTK with the double kill. The Necro unit's doing work. And Pale just barely missing. Burrow Strike get MRR. You probably don't want to be there. Vendetta Strike to hit up the Glaives to finish him off. Still only 2 alive. Now the Ice Blast gonna come through. Is there a Veil Up? Does it matter? That is the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. 26 minutes in, and as much fun as it would be to see VG go game 3 there, and have Talent come back into this one, and have Pimp join me, that'll be the end of the series, guys. So thank you so much. Big shout outs to BTS for letting us do this on our channel. Obviously, please follow us here on HighGroundTV, twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. We're at twitter.com/HighGroundTV as well for our Twitter account. Obviously, we've got all of the stuff down below the Twitch VOD, or I guess not VOD, but Twitch channel itself. You can have a lot of clickable buttons there as well. So, rough game for Talent. VG, super strong play. They'll face up against Hearts Get Together in the next series, and that'll be the grand finals. I'm not sure when that'll be, but I don't believe it's today. BTS, they've got a lot of stuff going on, so check them out on their own channels as well. Let's see what else. So, yeah, speaking of BTS, in conjunction with them, we're working on getting the summit going. Of course, the North American pre-qualifiers. There'll be an American qualifier, which 7 teams are already invited to. We're looking for the 8th to fight up against EG, Liquid, Revenge, eHug, Cloud9, and a couple other teams that I'm forgetting, I'm sure. But we'll be throwing that qualifier up on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. It'll be an open qualifier, obviously, so any team is able to participate. If you're looking for more information, it's at HighGround.tv, our website there. So that'll be to secure a spot to go ahead and fight up against those 8 teams and try to get to the land, which is the summit, which will be happening not too long from now. What else we got going on? The Dota 2 Canada Cup, proudly presented by HighGround.tv. We'll be casting that as well. That'll be on the Dota 2 Canada Cup channel, which will be twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup, I believe, or Dota 2 Canada, one of the two. And make sure you follow that channel for up-and-coming news and information on the Dota 2 Canada Cup. And last but not least, the ADL as well, which we cast on a pretty nightly basis. Tonight we got a couple of 2-game series going on, in which I'll be joined by What Is Hip to cast with that. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But once again, please follow this channel, twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. We would really appreciate it. That'll be it for me right now, guys. We'll step out of here. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, everybody.